the road across an African country is run 20 minutes at a time. I can't think of 20 kilometers ahead of me, and I can't think of 10 days of road ahead of me, so I've been running 20 minutes at a time. I am hurting. My quads are hurting. They're taking the most stress. It ended up topping 40 degrees today, and I absolutely don't mind running in 40-degree heat. My body cools itself pretty efficiently. I just hate that earlier, less hot, humid part of the day. The students got on their bikes and they started riding towards me. And when they got to me, they were all yelling, "Thank you, Erin! Thank you, Erin! Thank you, Erin!" Which is what Keba had told them to say. I was just grinning wildly. It felt so good when I ran past them and ran past the support vehicle. I did have some tears in my eyes because it was really emotional, and maybe I let out one sob, and then I looked at my watch and I was like, okay, I've been running for 16 minutes. I gotta pull it together. I can't spend the day crying like this. I had worked in the Gambia as a nurse in 2007, and I loved it there. Loved my work, the people, the country. I wanted to help when I got back to Canada. So I joined the Nova Scotia-Gambia Association, a tiny organization that raises money for health and education projects in the Gambia. But it's often short of funds and sometimes at risk of losing its charitable status. So this year I wanted to do something. I couldn't imagine a Gambia without NSGA, and I couldn't just talk the talk. I had to run the run. I secured $35,000 in pledges for a 17-day run the length of the country, and for 7 months I planned and I dreamed and I planned some more. And every night I recorded my thoughts about the day, the run, the place. Today is Thursday, July 7th, and today was officially the first day of my Love4Gambia run across the country of the Gambia. So this day was preceded by 7 hard months of training, a lot of it through the winter. And I really almost don't even have the right adjectives to tell you how amazing and incredible this day was. 25 kilometers a day was how many kilometers I wanted to run. And when I got to my 25 kilometers, I stopped and I threw my hands up in the air in victory, and everyone jumped out of the support truck to hug me, and it was really amazing. It was an amazing moment reaching 25K that first day. The start of the day was amazing as well, but in another way. We wanted to start right at the eastern border with Senegal so that we could run clear across the country. We turned off of the South Bank Road onto a smaller dirt road headed towards the Senegalese border, and we started stopping and asking people. But just where was that border? And some people were like, "What? Senegal's close." kind of, or some people were like, "No, we don't know where that is," or, "Oh, you have to go and drive all the way around the river and it's really far down this way." So we asked a number of people until finally we asked the right person. It was an older gentleman, and he was wearing a purple Muslim boo-boo, and he looked quite regal, sitting on a motorbike. And Keva stopped and asked him, said, "Do you know where the border is?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "This is my farm, and the border is on my farm. And if you follow me on my motorbike, I will show you where it is." And lo and behold, we arrived to the middle of his farm field, and there was a half-broken concrete cement block in the ground. And he said, "This is what," he was speaking in Mandinka, Keba was translating, but he said, "Oh, this is what the French and the British put here, and this is the border with Senegal." So a little bit different than I had imagined. I had imagined us being at a border building with some Senegalese and some Gambian border officials, but here we had this amazing brick block in the ground. So I had my journal with me. I wrote in my journal, "The end of the Gambia is right here." So this man, he held it, and we took a photo at the border and got ready to go. Keba wanted to start the run with me today, so he changed into his running gear, and after 7 months of training, the Love4Gambia run started at about 7:45 this morning. Keba, one member of my support team, is my translator, my running partner, my friend. Probably my favorite moment of the whole day While I was laughing, I explained to Keva that in my training runs at home, like sometimes my running partners and I get into really silly conversations and you start laughing, and when you laugh you can't breathe properly and it gives you a bit of a stitch, and we call it the laughing bubble. So I had a huge laughing bubble, and I told Keva that it was the best laughing bubble that I had ever had in my running career.
And there were others with me. Pamodu, like Keva, was from the NSGA-Gambia office, and Ashley Sharp is a nurse from Halifax. Ashley and I worked in travel together in West Africa in 2007, and she's joined me again. Ashley and I have slept together, eaten off the same plate, used the same towel, giggled until we cried, and squatted to pee side by side. We were a team fast becoming a family.
Today is Thursday, July 8th, and today was the second day of my 17-day run across the nation of the Gambia. So this morning, our support guys picked us up at 6:30, and we drove to the exact spot in the road that we had stopped running yesterday. Keba said that he had memorized exactly which telephone pole, or I guess electricity pole that we stopped next to. So we went back there and started on day number 2. For about 8 kilometers. Today we were running through forest, which is different than yesterday. Yesterday we ran through farmland all day long. And it was pretty nice to run through the forest, something a little bit different. Ashley had told me that Keba wanted to stop and pray, and I really wanted him to do that, but he wouldn't drive ahead. And when we started running together later, I said, "Why don't you stop and pray, Keba?" And he said that that area of the forest was known for armed robberies, and he wasn't willing to let me out of his sight. And although the last armed robbery was probably about a year ago, he was still concerned about it. So thanks, Keba. He's so sweet. But I haven't been minding the heat while running. I'm only hot when I stop next to the vehicle. So around noontime, and it is Muslim holy days, so school is out, and so there's kids everywhere. So for the first time, kids are able to join our run. So Pa in the truck is laying on the horn, and the kids come out to see, and once they see what's going on, they've been joining us to run, and they've been full of high fives for me, and it's been really adorable and inspiring and motivating. And like, how can you not enjoy running when these wild and crazy 6-year-olds are going nuts beside you? Just after our mom will get out of the truck, we passed a bunch of schoolgirls that looked like they were high school girls, and they started running with us. And Keba told them, "Oh, we're running for peer health education." And one of the girls said, "Oh, well, I'm a peer health educator." And she was. And I mean, she had on her uniform. It was a long skirt, it was a hijab, and it was a long sleeve shirt. And she ran the entire last kilometer with us into Basse because she knew that we were running for her peer health education team, which was pretty special. So yeah, that last 2K was pretty amazing today. We threw our arms up in victory when we finished the 5K, and it feels pretty good to have 50K in. So legs are good. My groin felt better today than yesterday.
Today is Saturday, July 9th, and it is the 3rd day of our Love4Gambia running expedition. So at the end of the day today, we had 75 entire kilometers in, and many communities in between.
We've learned a number of things about, like, roosters are bastards. I already knew this, so this is more of a confirmation. The damn rooster that lives outside our house starts making noise at like 4:30 in the morning, and the sun is not up yet. It's just absolutely needless, and it makes me mad every morning. Ashley and I have learned that a vast and beautiful farmland is a lovely place for a 90-minute rest, but it's farm field and there are very few trees, and it leaves very little place for a girl to pee. Gambians think that my mission is just as crazy as Canadians, but they go a step further and say, "Her?" Look at me with their eyebrows raised and are a little bit incredulous.
It's another thing we've learned in the Gambia. Women in the Gambia are not runners, not political leaders. For many men, I'm an oddity.
Then we start driving, and then I realize we're actually not driving home. It's like, well, where are we going now? And Keva's like, "Oh, now we're going to meet the governor." And we're like, "What?"
So, like, Upper River region is where we are. It's a province, so it would be like, you know, like going to meet the Premier in Nova Scotia when you're dressed from head to toe in pink and your skin matches your pink head to toe because you've been sweating and running in dust all day. So, this is so be it. They say that the governor knows that we're running, so he wants to see us after we've run. So, off we go to the governor's house, and he's having a meeting with the elders, all the important people in the Upper River region, under a tree. So we get out of the car, and you know, most of these people are like Muslim holy elders, and Ashley and I are both wearing short shorts and tank tops and are really sweaty. So yeah, we go on over there, we interrupt their meeting, and the governor's very happy to meet us as well. And the most important elder didn't speak English, so after the governor went through like, oh, we're so proud of you, thank you for running for education, this is wonderful, I will come and see you on the day that you finish your run in Banjul, then he started to explain to the elder what we were doing, that I had run so far from Koina all the way to back at Daji, 75 kilometers, and the elder was like, no, and he was like, yes, and then the elder was like, what? And then he'd like tell that he was talking like, oh, I can't believe it. And then when they translated, Pamodu said later, oh, he was saying that he can't believe that a woman could do that. So that's pretty good, because heck yeah, a woman can do that.
My team knows this, and they are with me every step. When I finish, it will be because of my team, because of Pamodu and Keba and Ashley. But even when they are with me, talking with me, encouraging me, and running with me, I still have time to let what I'm doing sink in. And the mamas along the road, they remind me with every thanks they offer. I can see where the money I am raising is needed. This country is rich in family, in community, and in culture, but it's poor in resources. The child mortality rate is high, and too many kids die before their 5th birthday. Everywhere I look, I see that the women carry more than the buckets on their head and children on their back. They carry the heaviest load. I have so much to live up to.
Life for women in Gambia is far from simple. It's much more complex than life is for women in Canada. So if you're a woman in a rural area here, you don't have access to affordable contraception. So you have lots of kids, and you sometimes have them spaced quite close together. So you could be breastfeeding a child and pregnant with a second child. And if you're a woman in a rural area, you're most likely the farmer for your groundnut farm or your rice field. So your days are long. Water doesn't come out of the tap in your home. There are no taps in your home. So that means walking to the well and carrying water back on your head, and making sure all your children get washed and fed with the water that you fetch from the bucket. Sometimes the walk to the rice field or the farm is quite long, and you need to take your tools with you. You can't leave them out overnight because they'll rust. So most women walk to and from the rice field with all of their farming tools in a bucket on their head.
Some video.
It is Wednesday, July 13th, and today was day 6 of running, and we have covered 150 kilometers so far. So that means that as a runner, I just put in 150 kilometers in 1 week. In Nova Scotia, my coach, Cliff Matthews, would say to me, like, before a big race, like, now you run with the big girls, and that means run with the guys. So now I am the big girl, having logged 150 kilometers this week. So today is Thursday, July 14th, and it is day 7 of our Love4Gambia running expedition, and it is my 31st birthday. So today we started running by these cement kilometer markers on the side of the road, announcing how many kilometers it was until Banjul. So the first one we saw said 280 kilometers, and I looked at it and was like, oh my God, it's so far. So I was starting to feel kind of bad for myself, and then I was thinking, like, oh, it's my birthday, like, why would a person want to run 31 kilometers on your birthday? You're supposed to be having a party with all your family and friends. So Keba joined me on 10K, and I was grateful for that, but once he started running with me, like, I realized I didn't really want to talk to him. Not because it's Keba, I love Keba, but I just didn't want to talk.
Today is Friday, July 15th, and today was our second rest day, and it was as blissfully... It is Saturday, July 16th, and this is the sound of me running. Today is Monday, July 18th, and it was day number 10 of our running expedition. So with our 25 kilometers clocked today, we have run a total of 200. We were in this village, and a group of kids started running with us, and there was this one really beautiful young girl. I'll never forget how she looked. She was probably 5 years old, and she had her hair in a bunch of short little braids. And she had a green dress on, top and bottom, skirt and top. And when we started running, she wanted to run next to me. And like usually I slow down a little bit, speed up a little bit so I can run with a few separate kids. But whatever I did, she was right next to me. And when I looked at her, she was looking up at me with this look in her eyes that I can't quite capture in words for you. But she was looking at me like, this is a girl, and it's a girl doing this run, and she's a girl too. So I hope I'll remember her forever, and I hope that when she grows up, she remembers that a woman can do something athletic like that, and a woman can achieve anything. We're at a lodge in Soma, and we're leaving tomorrow. Thank God, I can't wait to get out of here. Which I feel kind of badly saying, because the manager of this lodge is a friend of Pamodu's. They played football together, but this place is just a hellhole, and I can't wait to leave. So I am totally fine with roughing it. I can do a handheld shower, I can do a bucket shower. This place is filthy, and the room is dirty, and I'm fine with the handheld shower, but the bathroom's filthy, and the floor is clay, and it's never ever clean. And I'm totally fine with putting my hand in the toilet to flush the toilet, but when the rest of the bathroom is as filthy dirty as this bathroom is, I just can't stand it, and I can't wait to get out of here. I'm really pleased today with how my stomach did, and I'm really pleased with how my legs are doing. I didn't even want to say anything during our run, but they were perfectly comfortable, and nothing was complaining, and they felt like... Today is Wednesday, July 20th, and it is day number 12 of our running expedition. So we got our 25 kilometers in today, and we've run a total of 281 kilometers so far. So today was the first day that we had Spider running with us, and I really, like the team, we didn't realize how much we needed the infusion of a new person, so it was wonderful to have Spider with us. He's full of energy.
Dudu Ba, better known as Spider, is someone who I've known since 2007. We met on the beach. He was a lifeguard, and I was a white girl running along the shore of the Atlantic. We began running together at 6 a.m. every day. Spider wanted to begin running with us in Koina, but that would have meant missing a couple of weeks of work and a paycheck. So he joined us at day 12 to carry the team home to the capital, Banjul. It's Thursday, July 21st, and it's around 7:15 at night. Today's day 13 of our Love4Gambia run, and we ran 25 kilometers like usual, so our total is at 306 kilometers. We arrived in Buyam at kilometer 11 of the day, and Buyam is Keva's home village. And his 3 sons live here. They live with their grandmother during the school week, and they attend school in Buyam. And on the weekends, they travel to Brikama, which is 50 kilometers away, where Keba and his wife live. So they're with their mom and dad on the weekend, and in the summers and on holidays, and the rest of the time they go to school here. So we're running into Buyam, and on the road up ahead we see Keba's 3 sons, and it was a really lovely sight. They were really happy to join us. So Keba's boys are Lamin, he's 15, Seku is 13, and Se is 11. So the 3 of them joined us, and also Keba's 2 nephews, Sam, who's also 15, and then another Lamin who is 6 years old, and little Lamin is called More Fire, as in like liked more fire. And then one of the teenage boys' friends, Muhammad. So we continued running, and I was looking at those 6 boys with such
amazement. I coach young runners, and I've never in my whole life seen 6 boys run so beautifully and fluidly and with perfect running form. None of them were wearing sneakers. They were all wearing, well, one was barefoot. And we've passed kilometer 2 of having these 6 boys with us. And the littlest boy, More Fire, he's only 6 years old, and he's the most beautiful in terms of running form of the 6 of them. And he's just running along, and he's loving it. And they're running with joy, and they're happy, and they're excited. And then we got to kilometer 3, and I was like, oh my God, this kid's 6 years old. Look at him go. And he was starting to get a little bit tired. And the next oldest boy, Keba's youngest son, Say, noticed that his little cousin was getting tired. So he was talking to him in Mandinka. I don't know what he was saying, but I watched Say reach out, and he grabbed More Fire's hand and held it and pulled him ahead of the group just by a little bit. We were running up a hill at this point, and he kept hold of his hand, and that's where they ran, just a little bit ahead of our group, hand in hand, so that they could help each other. And I think that it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed while running.
It is Monday, July 25th, and today was day 16 of Love4Gambia run, which means we only have one day to go, so we are at Banjul's doorsteps. Today was a 24-kilometer non-stop run from Brikama all the way to the Westfield Junction. So as of today, we've run 410 kilometers, and we know that we have 13 and a half left to go, so we're so close. I can't believe it. I don't know how to put into words how I feel about it, because I don't even know how I feel about it. I've been thinking about this day for 7 months. It is the final day of Love4Gambia. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's Tuesday, July 26th. My team comes to get me in 10 minutes, and I'm ready early, which I'm never ready early, but I was up early today, and I'm not really sure how I'm feeling. I'm feeling so many things all at once. I do know that I think as soon as I see Pa and Keba, I'm going to burst into tears, because I'm crying a little bit now, because it's been such an incredible experience that although today is like our victory day, I've been thinking about this day for 7 months. I'm really sad, because it means that the team is done, and the team is really extraordinary, and surely we'll be bonded for life. But I feel kind of sad that it's the team won't be getting up to run tomorrow, because I loved getting up with them and running every day. So I think at the ocean I'll feel happy and sad, but I'll have achieved something great.
Our last run was 13 and a half kilometers from the Westfield Junction past a huge golden arch in Banjul and then to the Atlantic Ocean. For the first time in 17 days, my entire team was able to run together because we had someone else to drive the truck. We were joined today by 16-year-old Muhammad, and having a youth with me made me happy. He represented all of the kids I had been running for on this run.
Spider started yelling I'm seeing the arch, I'm seeing the arch. And the arch appears, and I just start crying. And at that moment was the moment where I was like, we did it, we really, really did it. And then Ashley was like, don't cry until you get to the finish line. And I was like, oh, it's too late for that. I ran right to it and collapsed against it, and my whole team piled on top of me, and we had some kids that were running with us at that point, and we're all standing there hugging the arch and just crying, and the team was like, oh, the coach is crying. Everyone was hugging each other and celebrating and spraying water in the air. We did it, we did it, we did it. So that was the moment where I knew that we did it. We'd actually run all the way across the country. But we still had a little bit of work to do. We weren't at the ocean yet, and we needed to finish at the ocean. So the 5 of us started running, myself and Ashley and Pa and Keba and Spider,
behind the police escort, winding through the busy market streets of Banjul. We had, at this point, I guess 1,500 meters to get to the beach, and we wound through the markets. And then the buildings parted, and we were at the ocean. So we stopped for a second and took our shoes off, and the 5 of us held hands, and we ran into the ocean. We did it. We ran into the water together. We dove into the water, and then we celebrated, and we splashed, and yeah, I can't even tell you how good that felt. You can hear how good it felt because I'm crying, but it was really, really incredible. So with this run, like since I said I would do it in November, I believed that I could do it, and with my team behind me, I did.